Hello, this is a reading for Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising in Venus. It's Marina from the Butterfly Effect. I did roll the dice and I looked at the dice and I often do confuse Aries and Taurus on the dice. And then when I was calling in the energy I was calling in was Taurus. So I went back to the dice to make sure that I was reading, in fact, for Aries. But obviously there is a connection here with Taurus, is basically what I'm saying in a very roundabout way. So on the dice Aries, you have Taurus, the 6th house, and Mercury. So some communication in the next sort of 7 to 10 days, maybe involving an Aries. Aries with Mercury, that can speak of some quick communication. It can sometimes be a little bit impromptu, sometimes a bit thoughtless, erratic, involving the 6th house of work. Now, work, it could be in focus for you here. I don't know if it's you or your external energy. I don't know if your external energy is just your environment and it's a work one. That's quite possible. Or it is another individual, and it's their work and money that's coming through. Money is focusing highly here. But the 6th house is basically health, and it's duties, work, hobbies, that sort of thing. So it's the house of slavery. It's the house of drudgery. It's not a great house in terms of energy to work with. So your energy for the Taurus, I'm going to say it all the time, it is Aries. It will be in the title. I'm reading for the child, nature, archetypes of, and the hermit and the victim. Okay, they're all in the upright. Now this is saying to me that this is someone who's very much either excluded themselves or in a period of introspection, feeling quite withdrawn. I'm actually feeling it's a very self-protective energy, Aries. The child of nature is a beautiful energy. It speaks of friendship with animals, communication with nature spirits. It's very earthy. Again, there's such strong Taurus here. Hang on a minute. I'm questioning myself now. I saw Taurus. I pulled in the energy of Taurus and then I realised it was Aries and I went back to Taurus. It is Aries. That's something else. It's so weird. Maybe you've got placements in both of these areas. But the upshot of your energy is that this is a period where you're feeling withdrawn. I think you're feeling more of an affinity with animals, with nature, with children. But it's also disallowing yourself to be victimized or taken advantage of. And this external energy may very well be an energy that has done that or is attempting to do that. And there's a feeling of sort of, enclosing your space. So the external energy, obviously, I'm more than likely to read it as a person, but it doesn't have to be. I've got the beggar, the exorcist in reverse, and the prostitute. So this person, if it is a person or is your environment, because if it's a work, with the 6th house, it could very much be work. This is feeling that there's not enough out there, basically. There may even be a fear that you in some way have to kind of sell yourself out, sell your integrity. That is what the prostitute archetype speaks of, for your own physical survival. So it's maybe even having to do work that doesn't resonate with you. It's like being a vegetarian and having to take a job as a butcher. Extreme, but you know what I'm saying. The prostitute archetype is having to sell yourself out or choosing to sell yourself out in some way. As I say, it could be whoever you're connecting with. And the beggar archetype here, this is someone who's, can be begging for attention, begging for love, begging for material objects. There is a very strong energy of someone being very materially focused and feeling a real lack in that area. Now, if this were a person, for example, and you do have a man here with the coffin card next to him, speaking of some sort of ending, I'll pull more cards, but if you were like broken up from this person and you felt victimized or taken advantage of, and you've excluded yourself from the connection, this is someone who has issues in terms of feeling abundant, basically. They maybe grew up not having very much, and that's an energy that's always stuck with them regardless as to how much they have. And with the exorcist being in reverse, it can speak of, you know, someone that's been cut out of your life, but in the main, it's actually someone who is, it's going to be fearing facing your own demons, you know. This can be someone who, you know, will project any issues they have in that department in your direction, but without confronting them in themselves in some way. So, you know, I don't know. We'll get into some clarification. I mean, say it could be an environment or it could actually be a person, but money is definitely in focus here. And if it's a love reading, it seems misplaced, you know. So I had asked, once I pulled my Lenormand spread, for the connection between yourself and the external energy. And again, it doesn't need to be a person, but the door to value is literally closed. This is an abundance card. This is opportunities opening up. This is job offers, you know, big wins, new projects. It's all brilliant stuff. And the door is closed between you and this external energy. So this is saying that, you know, in the area of money and career, opportunities aren't coming in. There may be sort of, you know, delays or properly derailed. In some way, there's an inaccessibility in terms of accessing finance, you know, job opportunities, etc. And if it is a love relationship, for example, then that's, you know, who you're, well, both of you possibly are dealing with that. But the external energy seems to be in more of a physical survival mode, you know. I'm feeling like they, you know, they really need to get something, they really need to get their money, they really need to get a job, to the point that they're prepared to sell themselves out in some way. Yeah. And the base of the deck of Lenormand has also got the cash card. This is prosperity, finances, cash flow. The book is under that, speaking there's maybe some secrets or, you know, information you don't have access to. And things are changing there. And I don't know if it's for, I'm reading for the Taurus feminine here, but, you know, the masculines come through. So, you know, it could be the masculine I'm reading for, even though I've specifically intentioned it for the feminine. Or this is a significant man in your life here. There's something changing in a big positive way here. Now, there may be some sort of risk or gamble that someone takes, you know, buy a scratch card, whatever. And this is big luck. The bouquet in this combination is speaking to me. There's some sort of breakthrough and positive uplift in terms of someone's finances. It's a card of invitations, gifts, pleasure, enjoyment, happiness. It's an all-round happiness card, and the direction we're moving in is the key, which is the best card to me, because it's all-round resolution, it's doors opening, it's having answers that you didn't have before. And as I say, till I get into clarification, I just can't decide if it's a pure work reading and this is just your external environment, or you're actually dealing with a masculine energy here. And I think in some way this person has, you know, if an opportunity has come along in terms of money, jobs, they've taken that over you. It's really what I'm kind of getting at in a very roundabout way. This masculine has the coffin card, so it speaks that there might be some sort of ending on the cards here. It can be someone who is, you know, depressed or sad. It can be someone who's suffering ill health in the 6th house here. But ultimately there is going to be some answers. We will clarify that. There is going to be some answers. I'm going to clarify with my energy oracle deck. I'll put my fairies to rest for a wee bit. So Aries, let's have a look at what this bouquet is. The bouquet. It's the world in reverse and the angel of balance in reverse. Hostilities. You see, the world in reverse, this is a card of, again, kind of like expansion, things opening up. It can be the internet. It's, you know, networking. I don't know, you've just withdrawn from that completely because it is in some way, I can't seem to speak tonight. What's the word? I can't seem to speak at all. What the hell? Hang on. It's a feeling that it's something very unsettling. It's very unsettling. Like you don't like what you're seeing. You don't like what you're being offered. And again, because it's coming from, you know, this external energy, or because this external energy is here, in terms of you being maybe in a needy position and having to, you know, compromise your values or your integrity in some way. If this offer comes in, it almost feels like it's in some way an attempt to take advantage of your current position, which might be one of weakness. Tell me about the Angel of Balance in the bouquet. The Angel of Balance. This is greed. This is greed. This is an energy coming back to this external energy of more. It is, you know, materialism on steroids. It's very self-indulgent. It's excess. It's, you know, spending lavishly. So I don't know if this is someone you were dealing with. Let's just see who this man is. Maybe it'll clear it up a wee bit. I don't know what that song is. It's like They Call Me. Excuse me, Mr. Officer. Still looking like that. I don't know. I know the song. I'm going to try and find it, and if I do, I'll post it below. It's like a rap song, isn't it? Excuse me, Mr. Officer. Show me this man in the Aries reading. He's the healer in reverse, and we do have the 6th house here. So this is somebody who can be a little bit sickly. Who can be like, you know, shut off, and they're dealing with something here. But it's also someone who's very needy, or someone who's tired. This man in the Aries reading. Right, so with the sword here being in reverse, this can speak of something that's been maybe hasty. We do have Mercury in Aries here. It can speak of, like, you know, a hasty action. But it also can be backstabbed, quite frankly. It's a painful blade. It's kind of like blunt and a bit dull. It's not being able to see things clearly, not really having a clear mind. But yeah, dull. I don't know if this is somebody maybe having some surgery, or I'm not sure. The village is somebody maybe from your hometown. It can speak of a family member. It can be someone who is you know, very connected with their family. I don't know why I'm not getting like a real strong vibe in this reading. So show me this dice. There's some sort of risk here that somebody is taking, and I think it's to do with money. Show me the risk. Thinking man. This is this masculine energy here. Right, this man, financial constraints, and the man holding coin. I think that this has been someone who's made a strategic, logical decision in terms of what is best for them, in terms of getting their finances straight. And if this is someone you were connecting with or are connecting with, I think you've been shunted, honestly. Or you haven't got the truth. The answers might be coming in as we move up this spread. With the key here, but there has been an ending here. This person may have closed down, shut down, but they've made a strategic decision, but it's one that's come from their natural instincts to need more. From you know, it's greed though. It is greed. I mean, I'm not saying that, I mean, they're the beggar, maybe they were struggling in some way. Obviously can't speak of, you know, being homeless, but that's very extreme. This is someone who's made a strategic decision to take a risk, maybe on some sort of promotion or job opportunity or financial, you know, promise. Show me the storks for Aries. All tied up. This is now being sort of trapped. It's something to do with abundance, to do with someone's finances here. Now, because the prostitute is here with the exorcist, this can be someone who has taken maybe a job opportunity or taken some sort of project on, or I mean, it doesn't need to be a job, but there's something to do with money here. They've accessed money in some way. I mean, it literally could be like a money lender, to like satisfy a need. But I don't know if it was a basic need, is how I feel. I don't know if it's a basic need. And now they've got themselves tied up. And this has been really restricted, literally unable to move. Now that may ultimately be what is changing. I don't think it has anything to do with children here, but that the stork can sometimes speak of babies. But this is someone who has to be very careful now in terms of how they move, because they've got themselves into something here that's kind of, you know, it can cut and it can wound. And if they're trying to exit themselves from this, or you are, then it would have to be done very slowly. Show me this coffin. Not ready. It's the sun in the verse, the coffin and hostilities. Garden gate. The sun in the verse is obviously with the coffin. This is a sign of depression, sadness. There not being a lot of, you know, warmth, joy, health in someone's life here. Somebody with hostilities being in reverse. This is maybe someone who doesn't want to fight anymore. Someone who's, you know, given up in some way. I don't know why I'm kind of getting this impression that somebody, you know, whatever decision they have made, which has come from a place of either greed or a feeling of lack, that they've not taken maybe like a more holistic route here. I don't know why that feels holistic. It does compared to over here. And it might just be a feeling that they feel like they've made their bed, now they're going to lie in it, you know. Tell me about the key. The key for Aries. There's balance coming in. This is, I mean, the key is a breakthrough. If anything has been kind of locked down, shut down here, you know, you've not had access to the information. This is things being a bit fairer. Okay, so we do have some doors opening here. This is opportunities that are going to come available either to you or to this man that they don't currently see. There are alternatives, is really what this card is saying. There's a more sort of harmonious way of doing things. It's the yin and yang is about taking action, but it's also about avoiding excess. And ultimately we have the storm warning. So it's saying the worst is over in whatever this scenario is for you, Aries. The worst is over. Door to romance is also shut. Door to everything's shut down. Everything's shut down. Let me see. I don't know. I just don't really have a firm grip on this reading. I'm still going to put it out because it will probably mean, just because I don't get it doesn't mean you won't understand it. I want to know more about the what's coming in for Aries. Just go there. Let's just see what's coming in for Aries regarding this connection. A prayer. A prayer is obviously a card of, you know, like hoping and wishing. But it is sometimes about your prayers being answered in terms of what you're putting out there. But it speaks of someone who's in a position where, you know, if you look at the picture here, there's like a kind of, you know, my God, speak, women. It's a very cold landscape, yeah? And someone is like sat imagining what it would be like in Tuscany, or for example, with the gin and tonic. So there's someone here who's not, if they're not physically praying, they do have a vision of what they want the future to look like. Tell me more for Aries. What's coming in for Aries with the prayer? Dissipation. So we've got some solar plexus energies coming in here, and that's speaking about will, determination, drive, confidence here. Dissipating is more of it. There is an energy here of procrastinating, just like hoping, wishing, but actually not a lot happening. I think there is the feeling of gratitude. It can speak of pregnancy as well, but this is having support around you. Usually, you know, other women, but doesn't have to be. Is supportive relationships, but this is actually a woman who her heart in some way is healing. This is someone who's been left pregnant, basically, and she has been given a lot of support by, you know, siblings and friends. Oh my God, I don't know what's going on with this reading. It's the weirdest thing. Can't seem to get a grip on it. I'm still putting it out. Maybe that song will help when I find out what it is. Why is the prostitute here? Tell me more about the prostitute. I mean, this is literally somebody, you know, who maybe... Ace of Cups. Prostitute. Queen of Swords in the upright. Or the Devil. There's someone, I think, is trying to release themselves from something they've got themselves trapped in. The Devil almost feels like, I mean, is this all tied up? So if there's someone, like, you know, trying to break a contract, they may feel that they've been in some way kind of tricked into it. I don't know if there's like a pregnancy here. There's been some sort of trickery and some, you know, either like abuse of authority or a broken promise here, but somebody in some ways felt trapped by it. They've had to they've sold themselves out in some way. Maybe they've got a prostitute pregnant. That would make a lot of sense. But anyway, how does this work for my Aries that I'm reading for? Gosh, Hermit again, 2 Hermits, the 4 of Cups. I'm just seeing someone who's like completely and utterly shut down here. Not looking at any offers, not fighting, not competing, not getting involved. I mean, 6 of Swords, King of Cups reverse, Ace of Wands. Whoever I'm reading for here, this is almost saying, this has nothing to do with me. This will not have anything to do with me. I got my wee world up here. I'm not satisfied with it. I'm not seeing satisfaction here. I'm seeing protection. This is someone who is protecting themselves from all of this. And I don't know, that's why I can't really get a grip on the reading, because I feel there's somebody really, really shut down here. Like, I'm actually feeling sad. You know, I can feel it coming up. Give me advice for Aries. Be the light. So this is saying that there is, you know, Christ, I was going to say the moon. The Lord is in reverse. There's a lot of introspection here. I mean, there is an issue with healing. It can just be the healing of a connection, the healing of someone's finances, the healing of someone's body. I'm just really focused here, and this, to me, this is someone looking at someone else's life and saying it's just a mess, and they weren't not my choices and not my consequences, and I'm not getting involved. Just not getting involved. This is saying there's low vibrational energies around you. This is asking you to stay positive, focused on, you know, good things in your life. But I'm honestly feeling that I can't even like properly connect to that energy, because it almost feels like it's going to go to sleep in a minute. That's how I feel. It's just, it feels sad. Okay, take note of intuitive messages then, please, Aries. Listen to your dreams. Maybe journal. I mean, I don't think I'm telling this Aries to do anything they're not already doing, because this is someone who is literally mastered being alone for however long. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there. Please let me know if it resonates. Even if you don't want to put it in the comments, you can drop me an email. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.